Time to keep it, it's time to keep it, it's time to keep it. It's the big keep it.
Hello everyone, Artistry and Finesse with you for the Raw Emotion Podcast on Monday night, week 2 of The Bachelor, and Finesse showing tremendous dedication, as is his wont, phoning in from the park, Zip Fun, I believe, on the way back from his hockey game. How are you tonight, Finesse? I'm good, and really, this is no different than how I feel after watching an episode of The Bachelor. I'm sweaty, I'm exhausted, I smell like a high school locker room. It is pretty much, this is my element. This is what I'm meant to do. This is how I'm meant to feel when I'm feeling the episode. And I think you're going to walk me through it because I haven't seen a minute of it. I don't know anything about what happened in the episode, yet I feel as prepared as ever to talk about it. Yeah, and I think you are, and I'm happy to walk you through it. A lot happened tonight. Juan Pablo comforted a lot of women in a high-pitched Spanish accented voice. A lot of women. He went on, I felt like a bunch of dates. There were a couple meltdowns. Women who had children comforted each other. Women melted down in bathroom stalls. I don't know quite where to begin, so I'm just going to begin with the first one-on-one date. And it was with do you mind if I stylist. Yeah. Can I take a shot at what happened on the first one-on-one date? Right in. Here's what I think happened. I think that this lady, you said it's a hairstylist. I'm going to go on a limb and say she has a backstory. She's got a dead parent, one or the other, possibly a dead grandparent, maybe even 2 dead grandparents. I think what she did is I think she was taken into the middle of a body of water, sat down on a lily pad or some other sort of flotation device. They had dinner. She revealed her secret. Her walls were down. Juan Pablo comforted her. He said, it's okay. You know, it's okay that your grandparents are dead. I'm all right with that. I can live with that. Fortunately, they can't live with that, but I can. And then fireworks went off, and it was one of the greatest moments of her life. You hit a lot of the right notes there. You really did. This was a date, the hairstylist, and I don't blame you for not putting this together. She's the one with the best backstory of all time. Oh, right. Yes. Yes, indeed. With the video. Did she show the video to Juan Pablo? Well, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk you through in just sort of hyper speed what happened on this date. And your job, Finesse, because I know you can feel this, is to tell me what did not happen on this date. Okay. Does that sound like a good plan to you? Yeah, I can do that. The other thing I can do is put on my pajama. You going to put on your pajama? Good. Okay. Get on your pajama and let's walk through this date. All right, so they get in the limo. It's, what's the woman's name? Her name is Claire. Claire and JT, they're in the limo. Claire says she's having a blast. She is hilarious. And she hasn't felt this alive because of a man in a long, long, long time. At the same time, he's well known for having a great sense of humor. He's hilarious. And at the same time, she recognizes that it's a huge risk to make herself vulnerable. Her heart is always ready. All right, but you pay careful attention because I might slip something in there that didn't actually happen. And you've got to identify what it is. Okay. Her heart is ready for this. Okay. I'm not. Do you agree with that, or do you think that that's not the case? I do believe her heart's ready. She is 100% open to opening herself up and becoming vulnerable. Okay. The first date is going to be amazing because he comforts her. But, and this is important, there's still a lot that she needs to tell him. She wants to let her guard down, and she wants to get him in the hot tub and talk about her dead father. Which he then proceeds to do, and Juan Pablo gently and tenderly points at her necklace. I guess there's a pendant on her necklace. And he says to her, you tell me the story. Wait, I need more detail. Was this a pendant or a locket? Was this one thing was this a necklace that you open up and there's a picture inside? you have to understand is that they may be in a hot tub, but they're also in a winter wonderland. They're in LA, but there's snow. There's snow all around. There's snow everywhere. And
I mean, this is a vivid picture. You're like an author right now. You're like the John Krakauer of detail and adding color to painting the picture. I love this. This is great.
I know. I wasn't going to leave you in the dark. I mean, I know that you're going to feel these emotions, but I want you to be able to picture this. Okay?
Right.
So she's in a bikini. He's in his bathing suit. Snow everywhere in the hot tub. And locket pendant. You're just going to have to go with what you feel. But she says to him, and I quote, "I was Daddy's little girl. It's ironic that we're here because I turned into an ice queen to protect myself because you see her father died."
Now the metaphor of the snow there with her being an ice queen, that's no accident.
No, it's not an accident. So at that very moment, the ice queen melted, and a huge, big, I didn't even know they made TVs like this, but a huge 135-inch big screen plasma television raised from underneath the ground. And in front of it sat a single solitary DVD player.
Unbelievable.
And from the top piece of her bikini, she withdrew the DVD. She placed the DVD in the player, and there, before Juan Pablo, appeared the dead father.
And now, I want to make one more prediction. Is my contention that the first words on the DVD were, "Sweetheart, if you're watching this, then you must be in a hot tub with a random Spanish man on national television. Unfortunately, I am deceased."
And then
but this is what I want. I want you in the hot tub with this man.
Yeah, of course he does. And then, without further ado, music starts playing, which they hear in the distance. And they get out of the hot tub and they sprint in their bathing suits as the snow falls. And they find a man with a guitar and another man with a piano. The man with the guitar is apparently Josh Cratchit, a very soulful singer.
I was going to go with like a Daniel Powder or something like that.
It's the same idea, and he gives them a private concert, and they dance in their bathing suits in the snow. And she says she knows her dad is watching it right now. So what didn't happen, Finesse?
Well, I believe it's all so believable. The snow, I think, is something that absolutely happened. I don't think she was wearing the pendant. I'm going to go with that. I think you're trying to throw me off with the pendant. We know how meaningful pendants can be, and that's the oldest trick in the book, to say that she was wearing a pendant.
You think it was too soon for the pendant?
Yeah, too soon. DVD, fine, whatever. Pendant? No one brings that out on a first date.
Yeah, you're right. You know, the DVD thing, I grant you it didn't happen yet, but we both know that's going to happen.
It's on the horizon. Well, that's amazing, but did she tell him that she has a deceased father?
Oh, yeah. Everything else was true.
All right, so we just have to wait. We just have to wait now for the DVD. What's coming? Was there mention of the DVD? Did she say to him, "Hey, there's a DVD I'm going to show you in a week or two"?
No, but I think it would be wise to bring that out in either week 3 or week 4 just to get him hooked so he wants to see the DVD.
Well, it's a move you can bring out when you're in trouble. You know, backs against the wall, maybe you're on a 2-on-1, God forbid. And
you got to play tie. Right.
Yeah, you got to play a card. You know, if you can't show them those funeral cards, you can't show them a picture, or the other person showing a picture. What do you show? A motion picture. You know, you bring the deceased to life.
That's exactly right. So that was.
She got a rose. She must have got a rose.
She absolutely got a rose, but that was sort of like its own little mini Bachelor advertisement. It had nothing in common with the rest of the show. He then quickly went on a one-on-one with Kat. Remember Kat?
No.
And you don't remember this?
She's blonde and very thin. Am I?
Yeah, she's blonde and thin.
Okay.
She's blonde and thin. This was something new that we haven't seen before, and I'll make it brief. They flew to Salt Lake City, where they suddenly raced into the midst of like a neon dance party with thousands of people.
Right.
So it was an electric race that they ran together. And
why did they have to go? Why did they have to go to Salt Lake City to do this?
It's not clear, but they ran this 5K race and they got up on a stage and they were gyrating up there. And Juan Pablo yelled, "What are you, Establish Rose?" And she did, and I was the
Was Jeff there? Did they see Hef in Utah?
Hef may have been in the crowd. I wouldn't be surprised if this is like a routine for Hef that he runs the election.
I don't think there's an electronic race that he would ever miss, especially one going in Utah.
Yeah, he looked like he would have fit right in there.
All right, so that's 2 one-on-ones, but what about the group date? I know the first episode, and I distinguish what's technically the second episode. The first episode is the limo and cocktail party. I don't even consider that an episode. It doesn't start till the first one-on-one, and that's what we had tonight. So what about the group date? There must have been, 12, 15 ladies on the group date?
This was, about 12, 15 ladies. This was a photo shoot group date, which we've seen before. But there were a couple of interesting twists. The photo shoot director had teal goatee.
Right.
Hello, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, a teal goatee. And the other twist here was this was a models and mutts photo shoot. So there were dogs everywhere.
Okay. Now I think that's a huge advantage for the girl who likes the dogs. Now she got that date. That is a huge advantage for her.
She was very comfortable.
That's sort of the opposite of what they did to the one-armed girl when they made her go roller skating and do the roller derby. They said last season what we did is we took one contestant and we made her as uncomfortable as possible. Let's flip it on its head this year and pick one contestant and make her as comfortable as possible.
Stick her right in her element. Yeah, there's something to that. She was very comfortable. There were a couple of other women that were made to be uncomfortable in sort of a new way. They were made to basically pose naked with Juan Pablo.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was Juan Pablo in the nude. Was he full Brandon Sutter and completely naked?
He was completely naked and he was very comfortable, as you might imagine. And a lot of this was about Juan Pablo comforting Andy, the prosecutor. She had to be naked and she was very uncomfortable. She was sort of flipping out about the nudity, and Juan Pablo sat with her. And he said, "We will do this for a good cause. We're going to be there. We're going to be naked, and I will make you feel good."
What was the cause? The dog?
It was a Models and Mutts charity of some sort. Yeah, they find homes for the dogs. And I think
it's pretty much like it's like someone was willing to donate money, but only if he got to see all of them naked.
Right.
Like in other words, there was no accommodation that could be made for somebody who didn't want to get naked.
Yeah, no, you have to.
This was really like get over your fear of being naked on ABC.
That's what this is. They've taken this to another level. It no longer has anything to do with animals or the sea or heights. It's nudity.
I imagine that she looked good naked. She's an attractive lady, the lawyer, Andy.
Yeah, Andy looked naked, and then the other naked person was the free spirit.
Right. Well, that's
yeah. You're not
but that's one trick pony. If all you can do is get naked, like, what are you really gonna be there for Camila Valentina? If that's all you can do is get naked?
Right.
Like, what are you gonna drive Camila Valentina to school naked? You're gonna take her to soccer practice naked?
You're gonna teach her how to be naked? That's not appropriate.
Right. Like, what does the free spirit do? Let's say her back's against the wall, her naked back's against the wall. Does she have the DVD to pull out? What does she have to save herself?
Nothing. The answer is nothing. And I think that that becomes a big theme here. What do you have to teach Camila? If you can only teach her about nudity, that's not going to cut it. And you're going to see that somebody went home tonight. and she went home because of what Juan Pobbs viewed as an inappropriate approach to Camila. And that person is Victoria. Do you remember Victoria?
Yes, I remember which one. Yes.
Victoria was hammered. And during the group photo shoot, she claims to have given Juan Pablo the hymen maneuver.
Okay. Well, that would be something that occurs while naked.
Yeah. She said she gave him the hymen maneuver. And she became very upset after doing the cocktail party after the group date because she wasn't getting her one-on-one time. And she ended up crawling into a bathroom stall, crying and having a tantrum, saying she wanted to go home. She was then confronted by a producer with a very long beard and a lot of rings. And he said he was going to have to call her a cab. And then she sprinted back into the bathroom stall, where she cried some more. It was eventually, Juan Pobbs tried to go on top of her, but she just wasn't having it. Long story short, the next morning she was sent home. It was one of those total meltdown situations. But Juan Pobbs was very understanding. He said, he knows that this is a hard situation.
Right.
The whole thing was, I know that when you're a few days into this experience, you realize you actually have to stay for like 6 weeks, and there are going to be other women there. But some people can't handle that.
Well, and also, I mean, you give someone the hymen maneuver, you expect a little one-on-one time in return.
That's right. You don't give the hymen maneuver away for free.
Now, she went into the bathroom stall to cry. If you recall a few years ago, the aging prostitute, her name slips my mind at the moment. When she had her meltdown, she went and cried amidst the luggage. And I wonder, I didn't see this, but how do people hide anywhere?
Yeah.
How does crying inside a bathroom stall compare with crying inside a Samsonite bag?
I feel like it's less sanitary. I mean, I'd be more comfortable amidst the luggage, just because I feel like, you know what you're getting with the luggage. You go into the bathroom stall and you put yourself down next to the toilet. You don't know what's gone on in there.
No, any number of things could happen. And on the one hand, you got a little more protection because you got walls, but on the other hand, there's some stuff in that bathroom that if these ladies have been drinking all night, it might be unpleasant.
Yeah, so the reason that Juan Pablo sent her home is because he couldn't imagine her being with Camila. He didn't think that she was mature enough to handle a relationship with his daughter. And the ladies, as you might imagine, were all buzzing about this the next day. And Andy, the lawyer, I think, put it best. She said, at the end of the day, this is a man with a child. And you know what? She's exactly right. She could not be more correct when she said,
who could speak to that better than you? A man with a child.
This is a man with a child. And that to me is the same as a season. Okay? We haven't seen anything like this. We saw Emily Maynard. Sure, she had a daughter, but she's a woman with a child. You see what the distinction is. This is a man with a child. That really sums it up for me.
This sort of plays into what, I think the show sort of lost its heart in a way. It's gone from finding a husband or a wife to finding a parent. It really should be called the step-parent, not the Bachelor or the Bachelorette. Because so much of this is about the child. And look, I don't have kids. I can't speak to what Juan Pablo's motives are. I can only speak about what I see and what I feel. And I feel that the show, in some ways, has lost its roots. Its roots were in sampling the merchandise. You have sex with as many of these women as possible, then you date them and do a couple red carpets for like 6 weeks after the show. Then you fade into obscurity, buy a bar in Austin, Texas, and have sex with fellas who recognize you from TV. And now it's morphed into something completely different. And I don't don't know that I feel the same about it as I did before.
Listen, it's a free country. You can feel what you want to feel. You can say what you want to say. But I can tell you that in this season of The Bachelor, that kind of attitude isn't welcome here. Because it isn't just about you. And it isn't just about a Brad woman. It's not just about The Bachelor anymore. It's a man with a child. And if that's not something that you're prepared to accept, then there are other shows that we could do podcasts about. I'm not going to get hung up on that.
I'm 50-50 right now on Camila Valentina. I'm 50-50 on her. I don't know whether I like her yet.
Well, listen, I think that we haven't spent very much time with her. We have only seen a brief clip where she put on the pajama. And we need to spend some more time with her before we make that kind of judgment. But what you need to know is that Juan Pablo's heart is up for grabs, but at the same time, there's a piece of his heart that belongs to Camila. And if you are not willing to accept that, then maybe you need to get in a limo. And maybe you need to go.
I just need to know that Camila Valentina can do something other than put on a pajama.
Whatever makes you think. She may just put on the pajama.
When your kids go to bed now, are you going to just tell them, put on the pajama?
That's already started. I did it tonight. They said the artist shows, change your diaper and put on your pajama.
So, the rose ceremony. Any fireworks at the rose ceremony, or was it your basic kind of cut the fat, get rid of 3 or 4, non-entities and move on?
It was pretty low-key. I mean, I don't know most of the people that went home. I'll be honest with you. I don't know their names. One notable departure was Chantel. And that's notable, of course, because every season there's a Chantel. And you just always root for the Chantel to do well. And that didn't happen here.
Right. But no other reason that's notable.
No other reason that's notable. They showed a commercial before the rose ceremony for Sean and Catherine's wedding. Of course, going to be televised. I marked the date as January 26th. All of our old favorites are going to be there. We don't know what's going to happen. Anything could happen. And there was a lot of talk about how they're going to consummate their relationship and how they're going to walk down the aisle. And as they do, they're going to have, this is very symbolic, they're going to have trees on either side of the aisle falling behind them as they walk down the aisle.
Maybe they should do it like the red wedding scene in Game of Thrones, where they just kill everybody at the end of the wedding. Everybody just dies.
Yeah, I think that all bets are off for that wedding.
Anything can happen. We'll be there. We'll be watching.
Yeah, we just know that they're going to consummate that on their wedding night. That's all that's clear.
Well, that's what should be on TV. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear voiceovers during the consummation.
Yeah, we need some cameras in there.
That could happen. If the kids, they don't have kids. That's why I root for them. I root for a couple that doesn't have kids.
I can see that there's going to be ongoing tension on this point for the rest of the season, and it pains me. But, there's nothing that you can really do about it. You're just going to have to live with it because that's who Juan Pablo is.
I can live with it. I won't like it.
But you don't have to.
I'm not going to.
You don't have to. You don't have to. And you're going to be a little bit out of touch, I think, with what's happening this season. Because you're going to have your own agenda, and it's not going to be Juan Pablo's agenda. I'll tell you what.
Since when has the Bachelor's agenda ever mattered to us?
Well, Juan Pablo has a child. I have a child. So we are on parallel paths here. That's all I can tell you. So I can relate to Juan Pablo. You obviously can't. No,
I can't. But I do feel like you've done a great job catching me up. I know I'm on board. I can hit episode 3, hit the ground running on episode 3 without going back and watching episode 2.
Yeah, there's no reason to double back at this point. Just keep moving forward.
Yeah, eyes forward, eyes on the road.
You in a little zip car right now?
Yeah, I'm almost back, too. We got to wrap this up because I'm going to have to park this thing in a minute.
All right, well, that's really all I have to tell you. I'm sure I'm missing things, but I know you're feeling the stuff to this episode. And, we'll go full speed ahead into week 3.
Yeah, I mean, I remain cautiously optimistic right now about Juan Pablo. But we'll have to see what happens. We'll see how it plays out.
He's very sensitive, very confident.
Well, he's got a daughter.
He does.
He says.
He does.
Daughter.
Yeah. He's used to
Like the whole season, it's going to be about, I can't do this on TV because you have a daughter. And I don't like that. I want the morals loosened up a little bit.
So what would you have him do about Camila at this point? You want him to just disown her? I mean, what would make him happy about this season of The Bachelor?
I would want him to say, Camila, put on your pajama. It is after 8 o'clock and you can't watch the show. And then he does whatever he wants.
Then
he doesn't get to see it because it's past her bed. It should be past her bedtime. If he was a good father, he would get her to put on her pajama and go to bed.
Yeah, you're probably right. But, this stuff lives on. Camila will be of an age at one point where she's going to be able to watch it. So he's going to watch himself. Yeah, this is not Sean, okay? How easily we forget. We just came off a season of The Bachelor where the guy was squeaky clean. He wasn't going to do anything. That's not Juan Pablo. Juan Pablo doesn't want his daughter to be afraid of her sexuality, okay? He wants her to understand that her father is capable of quite a bit in that department. I don't think he's afraid of it. It's not what he's worried about. He's worried about a woman who's going to melt down when she should be saying, Camila, put on your pajama.
Well, then I think he should let it out. I want to see it. I want to see his sexuality.
Oh, I'm tuning in next week, and I think you should too.
All right. I look forward to it.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Until next time, GTOG.
Time to keep it, time to keep it, time to keep it. It's the big keep it. Tom and Kibbitz with the big keep it. Ooh, big Kibbitz. Big. It's the big Kibbitz. Tom and Kibbitz with the big